I open the floor to questioning. I just got some news, and you probably know that the next G7 is going to be in Italy on June 14. I just heard that they want to premiere the movie there. And Kate, they ask you to introduce the movie. So what would be the speech? Oh, man. For all the actors, is it true that after doing this movie, you all want to leave the world of cinema and start a political career?
Yeah, we wrote a manifesto.
Yeah. You did? Yeah. Which chapter are you on?
Yeah.
Is it easy to, not make fun, but to be funny with political characters? Is it easier?
Well, I mean, if any of you have seen any footage, which after seeing videos of Guy's dog, he sent me some footage of the G7 in that order. If you look at that footage, it is really strange. They're really disconnected from their bodies. If you've seen them public speaking, there's a series of received gestures that really don't resemble anything vaguely natural. And they do, photographic listening, like it's a whole lot, it's performative. And so it was, the situation itself that we place our leaders in is absurd. And so that was a great starting place for me to look at that footage, because you went, at times, as strange as this movie is, it feels like it's documentary-esque, it's how real it is.
Yes, my name is Marcus. I'm from One Press TV from Sweden. I want to ask Cate Blanchett a question. How did you get introduced to this movie, and what motivated you to be part of this movie?
Well, I mean, I'm an enormous admirer of Guy's work and the work that the Johnson brothers have done with Guy. The Green Fog, I absolutely adore, and My Winnipeg is one of my all-time favorite films. And there always seem to be adventures in cinema making, and they make narratives out of things that shouldn't have narratives, and things eviscerate themselves, but I always sort of end up giggling and gasping and being slightly horrified and offended by the work. So as soon as I knew that the Guy had heard of me, of course I wanted to get on the phone, and I'd already made a decision. It's a little bit like a first date. You kind of know whether you're going to creatively sleep together or not, and before you just do. And but we had the conversation as a kind of a yeah. And then I read the script, and what I loved about it was that it felt like it was even a departure for them. And so I think it's really exciting when the directors that you're working with, and I've never been directed by a threesome, so that was, it was fascinating. Yeah, what was going on off screen.
It's about that time to mix things up a little bit,
exactly.
Threesome.
But it felt like, as a directing triumvirate, they were going in a new, fresh direction, so that we'd all have a chance to depart somewhere collectively. I'm getting too metaphorical for my own good, but yes, that's how it happened, and here I am.
I got a question.
Sorry.
Hello, my question is to Kate. I'm from Georgia. I'm Golden Globe international voter and journalist from Georgia.
Congratulations.
And thank you very much. My question is about, first of all, the script, because we see that the President of United States is totally in the film is sleeps, and Europe is on fire. How do you think this is kidding, or this is like confession to today's reality? Because we are in this situation in reality also, yeah?
I think one feels most mad in the present day when you try and make sense of what is happening, because it is completely bewildering and absurd, the situations we as a species have found ourselves in, but have willingly put ourselves in, or been put in. And so I think if you try and make too much sense of this movie, you will feel like you're losing your mind.
Do attempt to do a lot of tricking people into falling for that trap, and then maybe undermining it later on. That's just something we like to do, for better or worse.
I mean, the statement that the G7 come up with, and that's copy and pasted together, the director's statement that these guys made is as absurd as the G7's summit statement. So, yeah.
And that worked. Yeah.
But, of course, those textures are there. Not to be glib, but it's not. It's not trying to be an important film with a message. It's definitely not that. Am I putting words into? Oh,
No, it isn't. We thought it was.
Yeah, no, not
it's okay to fail.
Not an important film.
Important?
No, but I did
Utterly
my little
unimportant.
thing. My buddy,
That's not important.
No, it's not important. It's not.
What she said, yeah.
Yeah, Philip Winter for Latin America. I have a question for Kate. Since the movie is a comedy called Rumors, first, what makes you laugh? And then, what kind of rumor did it start with you that made you laugh the most?
Sorry, what was the
What
second
kind of
part?
rumors started with you and made you laugh the most?
Well, you make me laugh.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you make me laugh. What makes me laugh? Leaf blowers make me laugh.
This again.
Leaf blowers. Don't get me started. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, just Google Cate Blanchett
my
and
God.
leaf blowers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, make me laugh and cry. Laughing and crying is a really good state to be in, actually. And rumours that have started with me. Actually, I did confirm something with Galen last night. I said, which is really weird that it never came up in rehearsal, is why the hell is this movie called Rumours? And my husband had said, is that after the Fleetwood Mac album? He's convinced it's called out. And you said, yes, it was.
Yeah, it was on a list of 10 best album names, and Rumors was on there, and we liked that name. And Rumors, the album, was famously creatively fraught, and everyone was sleeping with each other, so it made sense to us.
Seemed appropriate.
No one questioned it. We thought people, producers and financiers, would be like, why Rumors? Why Rumors? But no one ever questioned it, so it just stayed the title.
Also, a question for Madame Blanchet. You have been to European Parliament last year. You met our President Roberta Metsola also. Like, if you would have a message for all the European citizens, why they should vote, why it's important to vote in the European elections. Thank you very much.
And so what was the third part of the question?
Do you have a message for the people to, no, who you vote for, but to push people to vote at the European election in a few weeks?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm Australian, and I mean, we're a small democracy, large landmass, but a small population. But it's a country where voting is compulsory. So I always have seen it as a kind of that one has to participate in order to make democracy healthy. So when people say they're not going to vote, I've grown up thinking the opposite, that it's really important to participate. But, like I argue with my sons, and they say, when the system's so broken, why would you participate in a broken system? But if you're saying the system is broken, then we have to do something to fix it. And that's what I find really lovely about this film, which is not political, remotely political. But it does talk, these people who are so lost and can make no decision at all, that they keep talking about, philosophizing about all of the things that need changing, the sundials we need to build, and et cetera, but no action comes out of it, And, if the French president loses his, the use of his legs, but anyway, that doesn't answer your question. Yes, I think voting is important.
They can write speeches.
I can write speeches.
No, I mean, the characters in the films, they can write speeches. That's something.
No, well, yes, yeah, lots of speeches, not a lot of action.
Here we go. What happened? We financed this film in part.
So, if anyone wants to ask any questions about, funding streams for guys' films, we got a lot of ideas.
Called funding
Ready to
streams for
go.
a reason.
Hello, yes. I'm Anna from Spoiler Time in Mexico. First of all, congratulations on your movie. We have an upcoming election in Mexico. I'd rather laugh than cry about it. So my question is for Ms. Blanchett, but really for the whole incredible cast and crew. I think there's this misconception that a lot of people have that comedy is not to be taken seriously, and that it's really not the best vehicle to talk about important issues, such as the ones that you actually really do raise with this film. So I would like to ask you, why do you think this is, and do you think that you can do something about it for it to be taken more seriously? Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think that stories are there as an active, like a a safety valve sometimes, you know, like to release a bit of pressure. And to your question, the journalist from Egypt, you know, like in a way, this is not regional. This is a self-appointed G7 dealing with a global crisis, you know, so it's something that is collectively affecting them all. And there's something absurd about those people from a select group of countries deciding the fate of the world. I mean, the absurdity of the situation that we're in is, I mean, it's very hard not to laugh. I mean, because it's, and in a way, it's, if you try and deal with these things too directly, you can't switch off because the catastrophic nature of the situation, you know, the confluence of AI, the challenges with you know, what we've done with anthropogenic climate change and the systemic inequality and fiscally and socially, you know, it's just, it's a big, tangled, globby mess. And so you feel disconnected and you feel disempowered. And in a way, if you laugh together, and it was really interesting last night to finally see it with an audience and to see, you know, some people reading it, you know, reading it in 2 different languages, some people hearing it, and to what people were laughing at. And it wasn't always where I was expecting them to. And if people see the film in 5, 10 years' time, they might be laughing at different things. Or regionally, people might laugh at different things, you know. And I think that's always really interesting for me in a story. Sometimes you can't deal with things too directly. And so it's the conversation afterwards, you know, I think that is the most important thing, you know. Not that this was made for it's not a piece of propaganda or anything, you know. That would be funny.
Yeah. I don't think we have the skill to make that kind of, the kind of propaganda, like we have political.
Or the budget.
Or the budget. We just don't have I mean, we have political feelings. They come out a little bit in the movie, obviously, here and there, but they're not, I don't think we would articulate them well enough to convince anybody of them. So that's why I don't think we're a little nervous about
No,
this.
good propaganda is really nefarious and almost invisible to most people.
And amazing. And,
Yeah.
And very well resourced,
Yes.
unlike
Yes,
filmmakers.
very well funded,
you know,
yeah.
And second part is what kind of resources did you have to tap into to create the characters?
The global crisis.
The crisis.
You mean as
World around us.
politician?
The script. I mean, the characters were really well drawn. And I mean, oftentimes you read a script and people speak within the same rhythm, you know, and their lines are interchangeable. But it was so beautifully constructed that the characters really, they were so vibrant there from the first reading. And then when the cast came together, it was just kind of delicious.
I had to learn how to be carried. And that was an acting technique that Kate taught me called and it worked really well. Thank you.
And I did a lot of
You're doing
muscle
carry,
training.
right? Metaphorically speaking, yeah.
Thank you again.
Yeah, I didn't carry you. There was someone else, but yeah.
And Roy, you had to do spinal exercises or something?
Yeah, I did a lot of gym work to be able to carry. But
Yeah.
Before we conclude, I heard about rumors of a Rumors franchise. Is it true?
Yeah, we have a sequel called Tumors coming out. That was Galen's. Galen made that joke a few months ago, and I took it and got the
Always
big laugh.
stealing my material.